Oh man, I miss this kind of era. I'm sure a lot of you that are probably like at least within your 30s by now, just like myself, you may remember Kids WB. Back when the WB channel still existed until like, I think it was like 2006 when it merged with UPN and became the CW and shut down all that shit. But it's just like, I can never forget the commercials that involve this logo. Kids WB yourself. See like those wacky cartoonish like commercials and everything like that. Oh my god, I cannot forget this period. Like, I can't remember exactly the first cartoon I remember watching. I remember I was at like a house like several blocks away. They didn't have Nickelodeon, so instead they just turned on Kids WB. It had to have been like on a Saturday morning or something. And it might have been something involving like Looney Tunes or something along those lines. And I can't remember how old I was, but I remember it being like my first exposure to this channel. I don't ever remember this being the logo. My memories always tie with this one. The classic one. And you can still see the commercials on YouTube. I'm sure they're out there. But it's just like, even seeing those commercials was just nostalgic. Even hearing those commercials and everything, like when the logo was like in a photo booth or something like that during those ads and all that shit. It's like, my god, this was amazing. And I think I kind of remember, like, they're saying that it was like Monday through Fridays from 4 to 5. I think I even remember either that for Kids WB, or it might have been like 3 to 5 in the afternoon. Because I think the channel we had at the time was called PAX. And then afterwards it would air like adult, like Western TV shows or anything as soon as 5 o'clock hits. And then, of course, you had the Saturday morning things. Was like, that's a medium that kids are completely missing out on. Because they don't have the typical Saturday morning cartoon style that we had back in the day, like with Fox Kids and Kids WB, ABC's One Saturday Morning. I know CBS had some Nickelodeon stuff and all that. Just like, kids are really missing out compared to what we had back in the day. But it's just like, going through this again, it's just reminding me of the good old days. And it's just like, we're even noting here in 99, they brought in Pokemon by 4Kids Entertainment. And I'm going to go through some of the shows and bring back some memories and everything like that. But it's just like, look right here, this was a heartbreaking one. Like, well, first, Kids WB weekday morning block was discontinued. I honestly don't have any memories of it happening in, like, a morning block. Unless maybe there was, like, early Pokemon episodes that I remember kind of seeing early in the morning. But it's just, like, not the most vivid memory. I always remember Kids WB being weekday afternoons and Saturday mornings. That's all I remember. I barely remember anything about, like, a weekday morning block. Because maybe I remember watching Pokemon early in the morning. It was either that or, like, Digimon on Fox Kids as school was about to get ready. Then seeing, like, right here, this was a heartbreaking period. May 31st, 2005, the WB announced that the weekday afternoon Kids WB block would be discontinued at the request of local affiliates because it became financially unattractive due to the fact that broadcast stations perceived that children programming viewership on afternoon time slots had gravitated more towards cable networks. So more of like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network and everything rather than just watching it for everybody. Then these stations started targeting more adult audiences. But it's just like, this block was like my childhood. You know, and like it would air the last time at the end of 2005. You get daytime WB, which I have no recollection of. Yeah, and eventually, like, they were saying that it went from 7 a.m. to noon. I think I remember that in the later days. Possibly. No longer affected by times of variance. Because I remember it significantly because of Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day. Because I was a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan for the original anime. I didn't fully watch GX when they did it later on with, like, Cartoon Network. And I hardly ever saw anything for 5Ds. But this Kids WB was my exposure to the original Yu-Gi-Oh! And I just ate that up every single week. And then eventually, like, they went to the CW, and they closed because it was, like, CW for kids, so it's, like, a merger and everything. But it's just like, man, I miss this stuff. They're saying they got a website, dckids.com. What? Let me see what this URL is. I don't think I've ever visited. WB Kids Go. Oh yeah, I visited this one before. Like, I might have visited, but it's just like, they got games on here, which is like, kind of surprising. What do they have for downloads? Before I get back to the article. Or is it just not going to show? Oh, you got it down here. You have movie tickets and stuff involving Scooby-Doo CGI. Activity kits, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you want to waste ink on your printer. Some of this stuff is just weird. You know, I mean, a lot of these games you can probably do, like, for games online and everything like that. But let me show the program broadcast here. And let me go through some of these shows. Some of these are probably ones that I did not fully watch in KidsWB, but I can at least have some memories. Animaniacs. I don't have a lot of memories in terms of the show. I do remember having the Sega Genesis game, and I never beat it. Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries. I never watched that. Pinky and the Brain, I might remember, but not fully. The Pinky and the Brain. Freakazoid, I never saw that. That's Warner Brothers. Never heard of that till now. Superman the Animated Series, never saw that. Road Rovers, never heard of that before. Bugs and Daffy, never saw it. Waynehead, yeah, that doesn't ring a bell. Daffy Duck Show, nope. Hysteria, no. Pinky Elmira and the Brain, I don't think I saw that. Never saw Batman Beyond. Big Cartoony Show, no clue. Detention, that just sounds like a generic name. Static Shock, surprisingly, I've never seen an episode of it. Never seen an episode of it. The Zeta Project, you might have heard of that, I've never seen it. Now, Mucha Lucha, that one was one that I very vividly remember. Ricochet, Buena Girl, and The Flea. That was good stuff back in the day. Baby Looney Tunes, I remember that more on Cartoon Network compared to KidsWB. What's new? Scooby-Doo, I don't think I saw that. I know my brother was a Scooby-Doo fan when he was a youngin'. But I don't think I ever saw it. Ozzy and Drix. With the... Yeah, from Osmosis Jones. I don't think I ever saw this cartoon. I do remember seeing the movie, Osmosis Jones, but I don't think I ever saw the cartoon. Zell and Showdown. Surprisingly, I never saw this show either. Never saw it. The Batman, no. Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island. What the... Never saw that. Lunatics Unleashed, no. Johnny Test, I know it went to Cartoon Network, but I've never seen an episode of it. Tom and Jerry Tales, never saw that. I never seen anything with these spin-offs of Tom and Jerry after the original. Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, Get a Clue, never saw it. Legion of Superheroes, no. Nightmare Room, never heard of that. And you got some shows that kind of went overwards. Samurai Jack, never watched it. I never even knew they even brought the Powerpuff Girls, but I mean, for a 2-month period, that would explain it. I mean, like, Codename Kid Next Door and Foster's Home, watched on a Cartoon Network, never saw Teen Titans or Crypto the Superdog. Tiny Toon Adventures, I don't think I ever even saw that on Nickelodeon. Let's see, Captain Planet, never saw it. Nothing involving Scooby-Doo. Now, Pokemon, I watched... Oh my god, I am so glad that I got this show on my computer. I always followed this show every single week when it would air. In fact, an odd factoid. My great-grandmother, with her TV, I think she had some kind of... I know she didn't really have cable, she had more of like a... Like one of those antennas that got like network television. She had some weird obscure channel to where it was almost like a central time zone channel to where... Like, I think Pokemon aired at like 10 in the morning. Or maybe a bit earlier, and then like an hour later it would replay on this obscure Central Daylight Savings Time channel or whatever. So you could rewatch the episode like an hour later, even though the video quality was all fuzzy. But I do remember watching Pokemon on that so often. Then Yu-Gi-Oh! That was my fix. This was my exposure to Yu-Gi-Oh! And I remember watching this a lot when it first came out. It would be like 11 a.m., they would show the episode from the previous week, and then 11:30, they would show the brand new episode, and then I would always get anxious just having to wait another week for another episode, especially when they did that 5-part episode arc where Yugi went against Pegasus in Duelist Kingdom. And I was just like, I don't want to keep waiting, come on, play the battles, I wanted to see the end of it so badly, Having to wait like 5 consecutive weeks for all 5 episodes of the duel, it killed me back then to keep waiting. But it's just like, this was my exposure. In fact, a fun fact also as well. I may or may not have ever mentioned this on video, but back then when the show was starting to debut, they had like a VHS tape that was like Toys R Us exclusive, like as a preview. You'd have like Pegasus kind of being like, oh, get ready for Yu-Gi-Oh, little boy, or whatever the hell was going on. And I remember we had that VHS tape when we eventually lost it. And not that long ago, I actually bought a sealed copy of that exact VHS tape. Still sealed and everything. And it's in my safe. I got it for like 30 bucks on eBay. It's just like... And I know at least one person has reacted to it here on YouTube. But it's just like, that show changed everything. And that would also got me into the card game. I mean, I still got the cards to this day. I don't really collect them anymore. But it's just like, that was like my go-to show. Besides Pokemon and Mucha Lucha. Cubics, never watched it. Any of these others. Channel Umpteen 3, never heard of it. Men in Black, no. I never surprisingly watched Jackie Chan Adventures either. Never saw it. I would see commercials for it, but I never got into it. Max Steel, never heard of it. Phantom, no. Astro Boy, no. Spectacular Spider-Man, no. None of these for Wellbrain. Acquired programming. Let's see. Earthworm Jim, never saw it. Calamity Jane, no. X-Men Living, no. Raptors, no. Still never seen anything involving Dragon Ball, surprisingly. The Mummy, no. Sailor Moon, no. Now, Mega Man NT Warrior, I think I might have seen some stuff from that show. I might have. My memory's a little fuzzy. I might have seen something from it. Like some clips, but I don't have full memories of it. Then the rest of these never saw them. But it's just like just even going through this list just brings back the memories of the younger days, you know? Because I mean, when Yu-Gi-Oh! First came out in 2001, I was 9 years old. And it's just like, kids are really missing out. They don't have this stuff. I mean, like, yeah, you got cartoons all the time on, like, Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and Disney and stuff like that, and you got the streaming services. But they don't have that luxury now of being able to just sit back, tuning in on cartoons on Saturday morning for, like, these channels, everything, with KidsWB like we had back in the day, and that's a massive shame. I don't know why I'm getting a phone call in the background, but let me know in the comment section below. Do any of y'all have any memories of KidsWB? Like I said, this was my shtick back as a kid, and I miss it so much. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll catch you all next time. Thanks for listening and watching, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, and good day, everybody.